Let's welcome in Julia Manchester, national political reporter with our partners at The Hill. Julia, great to see you. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court Code of Ethics in just a moment, but I do want to start with the looming shutdown, with these physical altercations, verbal altercations that we're seeing. We know the House is set to vote on Speaker Johnson's plan. Is it likely to pass? And even if it does, is it still likely to go down to the wire? Because we know we have this Friday deadline.
Well, I think normally, Nichole, we've seen these continuing resolutions go down to the wire in recent history when it comes to government shutdowns. Now, it's interesting because Speaker Mike Johnson, who, is very much was a part of the conservative flank, is a conservative in the House of Representatives. He's actually garnered praise from Senate Democrats as well as House Democrats for the continuing resolution that he proposed. Now, it's a two-tier approach. So, one part of the resolution would keep the government funded until early January, or mid-January, I should say, and the second would keep the government funded until early February. So he's gotten some praise from Democrats, some criticisms as well from Democrats who don't like that two-tiered approach. But at the same time, he's also getting criticisms from the same Republicans who were really a thorn in Kevin McCarthy's side when he was Speaker. They don't like the fact that this legislation doesn't include as many spending cuts as they would have liked. So Speaker Johnson certainly starting this week off with a major test and really learning firsthand what it's like from the Speaker's position to look at the Republican divisions from inside the conference.
And Julia, since we heard that sound there from Joe from the Senate hearing today with Senator Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma, our tension's just getting so high because there is so much pressure. I mean, what is going on right now in Washington?
Well, look, I think tensions obviously have been high in Washington because we live in extremely partisan times. We have major stories like, for example, the Israel-Hamas war that really helped sow divisions on Capitol Hill and really among voters and constituents. In terms of that hearing, though, look, that's definitely emblematic of the partisanship we have seen on Capitol Hill. But at the same time, it's a hearing. And we see a lot of lawmakers use those hearings to get a good soundbite, to get clips that we talk about here on the media and here in the news media. And we're seeing that happening right now. I'm sure there's a lot of Americans who didn't know who Markwayne Mullin was earlier today, but now are seeing this video of him, sort of going back and forth and looking like he's going to fight the Teamsters president in that hearing room.
Oh, yeah, certainly a lot of online searches, I'm sure, today about Markwayne. All right, let's talk about this new SCOTUS Code of Ethics. Talk about some of the reaction, because there certainly has been praise, but there's also plenty of criticism.
Yeah, there's been praise because we haven't really seen a formal code of ethics for the Supreme Court before. So this is a step in the right direction, according to supporters of this. But at the same time, a lot of critics say, look, this is just a formality. We have no idea how this is going to be enforced. Can we necessarily trust these justices to enforce it on themselves? We have to remember, this is the highest court in the United States. They don't really have anyone above them, but they do have public pressure that we've seen in the form of the press, for example, with the reporting on Justices Alito and Thomas. And we've also seen Sonia Sotomayor take some criticism for her staff, apparently trying to get, speaker venues to buy copies of her book and promote her book. So it's certainly something that we've heard quite a bit about due to the media coverage. But in terms of, how this is enforced, we just don't really know.
All right, Julia Manchester joining us live. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.